The game was quite interesting. My first impression from seeing the starting position was that it was not a particularly dangerous one for black. So I was quite happy to see that. I thought we'd probably have a fairly quiet strategic position. And yeah, I was already thinking when he played the move f4 that he might want to castle kingside at some point, and now his king is a little bit weakened. So, but of course it's all like pretty normal. So, I think this was nice. Just preparing the
Knight h6 was really. I think you wanted to trade the bishop.
yeah, just preparing the exchange. So I feel like all of these moves are quite reasonable. Yeah, I saw that the engine didn't like this, but I mean d4.
Oh, d4.
d4
Very
fe4 95. Yeah, we'd probably find this in a classical game, but in a rapid, it's queen e2 is very natural. But now I already felt like
This was nice.
I had some initiative here. If he takes this, I go rook e8, and then I can castle later on, and his king feels pretty exposed. So yeah, this was all quite normal. But
did you expect d4?
Yeah, I expected d4. Like, okay, I was briefly hoping that he might not play, because then I have a very good position. But my intention was just to take like this, e5, castles. But then I don't know. I lost heart a little bit. I didn't really believe in that position too much. I thought maybe it's easier for white to play. So I decided just to play it really safe. Yeah, obviously I hadn't seen
Queen
queen e8. So that was a bit too difficult for me. And also, yeah, I don't know. I thought this was alright. Rook e8.
Here it felt like the position should be around equal, right?
Yeah, I feel.
Do you think white is pressing?
Yeah, maybe white is objective like very slightly better, but I have this concrete asset with a pass pawn, which means that I think in practical terms, like it's quite equal. So I think what he did here was quite normal, but here I think the sensible thing to do was to do something like this. And if I trade the rooks, I'm a little bit worse here. So yeah, I would probably go for this and 96. But even here, just trade the rooks. And
he tried to overpress, or you think he misplaced his pieces?
yeah, maybe Gukesh is always very ambitious, so maybe he was trying to win somehow. But it didn't feel realistic at all. Maybe he misevaluated this, thought that with my protected pass pawns, he should not trade rooks. But yeah, it's just not a dangerous position for him at all.
When did you feel you are getting this chance now?
No, first of all, we had this moment where he picked up his knight. Yeah.
Yes. We saw your expression. You're telling d3, right?
Yeah, I was playing d3, and then like
d6, right?
he went knight e5 after all, and then I thought, isn't d3 winning? But then I thought, well, I should double check this, and I found the refutation, of course. Here I think, yeah, going for the pawn is very dangerous. I get the knight to e4, and now he goes to I should go to to e7 probably. Oh, okay. It's apparently it's drawn regardless. But it does, with my activity,
It looks dangerous.
yeah, it feels a bit dangerous for him. So what he did is very sensible check. But here, yeah, I didn't really understand why he didn't want to exchange rooks. And yeah, I thought it's just yeah, we trade king f2, knight e7, trade, knight f4. It's just a draw.
Right.
So yeah. Yeah, so here he was clearly panicking a little bit. Rook f2 as well. Now I get b5.
Yeah.
And he has to start making some really good moves in order not to get in any trouble. King e5. Yeah, I guess he should have traded rooks, but it's not a pleasant thing to do, right?
How exactly?
Like this, here, knight f4, because king here, king f5 is just lost. This I actually saw. And then knight comes to e5. So he has to go here. I was thinking king e6. And now this knight b2. Ugh. Looks really yucky.
Yeah.
But I guess you know, the knight comes to a4 as well, attacking the pawn. So I suppose it's a draw. But yeah, king e1, knight d6, knight f4 he found, which is the only way. Rook c7. I think is the only reasonable way to keep the game going, because I'm protecting the pawn. And here there were I did feel like there were chances. I don't understand what this does. King e4. Isn't this? Oh yeah, okay, it's a draw. Yeah, it's a draw. Because he has rook f6, and then the rook goes back and attacks the pawn regardless. Okay. How do we go back? Yeah. No, yeah, of course, knight d5 is a blunder, but this is very tough at this point. Yeah, rook b7 and h3 was again panic, but at this point, yeah, it was clearly lost.
At this point, the entire chat was like, we had close to 40,000 people. They were like, endgame goat, endgame goat. You know, you made that. You converted it into.
Yeah, honestly, this is my point about the pass pawn. Is that even though my pieces were passive earlier on, I have a clearer target because I have this protected pass pawn that if it breaks free, I'm just gonna win. So that always made the position a little bit more difficult for him. The time situation as well, like, you know, as soon as the choices became really difficult, it was very hard to hold. So I'm not, you know, gonna blame him too much for losing there, because it was at some point it was very tough.
Right. And lastly, Magnus, now you're fourth. Maybe it's very likely that you might face Hikaru because of this rule that was changed, that you have people.
But regardless, I would have played him because
yeah.
he's fifth. So in the end, it probably is not going to matter. I mean, the only other option is that somebody picks Hikaru instead of Abdusattorov. That would probably be Fabi with the third choice, and yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But you know, these guys are all very strong, and in order to win the tournament, you have to beat 3 of them. So I think Hikaru raised his level quite a bit today. If he you know, if he continued to play as he did yesterday, I think he could have been in some trouble today. But yeah, the way it happened, he's playing quite well, and it's going to be a tough opponent.
Thank you, Magnus.
And today also, I mean, you had mentioned that you were looking forward to play with Gukesh. So finally, to conclude it, how was it? Like, would you put it as?
Yeah, it was interesting enough. He's, as always, like, he's playing ambitious, very concrete chess, and you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the fact that he made seven draws, is that it?
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like, considering the positions that he had winning positions, losing positions, the way they all seem to end up in a draw, like, this has to be studied, because that was so unlikely.
Yeah, and congratulations, by the way, to you and Ella. Like, it's the first time we're talking after our wedding, so wonderful memories from last year also. I'm missing it over there, to meet Ella.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's been a great month.
Thank you, Magnus.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.